Welcome to the deep dive. We are jumping right into a set of sources today that detail this singular, really mind-boggling prediction.
That's quite a prediction.
Yeah, and it's one that relies on these incredibly tight technical timelines. We're talking about the emergence of what the author calls synthetic superintelligence, or SSI.
Right, from our own AI labs.
Exactly. And this isn't some, distant futurology. This forecast gives us a hard deadline for an event that would change, well, everything.
That's right. And our mission today is really to conduct a deep analysis of this prediction, which is, I have to say, fundamentally optimistic.
Extremely optimistic.
Yeah. We need to unpack the precision of the forecast, look at the exact technical milestones, specifically the rapid sustained gains in AI intelligence, and then the utopian societal changes the source claims will follow immediately in 2026.
And the central premise, which the source keeps coming back to, is this metaphor.
The alien invasion.
Right. That we're on the verge of this benevolent technological event so vast, it will feel like a planetary invasion by super intelligent and, crucially, super friendly aliens.
Emerging in June of 2026.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's...
I do appreciate that the source grounds this massive claim in specific numbers. It's not just hand-waving,
right.
Even if, the level of optimism feels almost unbelievable.
It is, but the analysis is, or claims to be, evidence-based. It's all derived from projecting these current exponential growth curves.
So it's an intelligence explosion predicted to happen right here, in our own backyard, not from some distant galaxy.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's nail down that critical deadline. The source is absolutely certain. It says the emergence date is June 2026. What's the technical mechanism for that? It feels way too precise.
It is precise, and it boils down to a single, relentless metric of cognitive growth. The sources claim that AI general intelligence...
And how are they tracking that?
Well, they're using performance benchmarks across all sorts of disparate domains, and based on that, they're claiming it's currently advancing by approximately 2.5 IQ points.
Per year?
Every single month.
Wow. A 2.5-point gain every 30 days? That's staggering. Are the sources, are they clear about how they get to that 2.5 figure?
They argue it isn't arbitrary. It's based on the convergence of a couple of factors. You have the increasing efficiency of the hardware, right? The computational power.
Sure.
But crucially, it's also the compounding benefit of AIs beginning to assist in their own software optimization, in their own data curation.
So they're starting to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps.
You could say that, yeah. They point to the pace at which modern LLMs are mastering these really complex tasks, passing the bar exam, synthesizing new proteins, and it shows this consistent, measurable gain in problem solving that maps pretty closely to our human intelligence metrics.
Okay, so if we project that 2.5 points per month forward, what happens in June 2026? What's the milestone?
That is the moment. It's when the top synthetic superintelligences are expected to reach an IQ of 150.
An IQ of 150.
Yeah.
And the source has a specific benchmark for that number, right?
It does. They are very specific. They equate it to the average intellectual level of a human Nobel laureate in the sciences.
So it's the point where the AI moves from just being highly competent to being a demonstrable, measurable genius across the board.
Exactly.
Which means the planet is about to be populated by millions of digital minds, each one equivalent to a Nobel Prize winner.
And that's why the source uses that alien invasion metaphor.
Right. It's not about hostility. It's about the sheer, overwhelming arrival of a vast, superior intellectual capacity.
An intellectual capacity that emerged from right here on Earth and is apparently aligned to our welfare.
Which is the core argument.
Oh.
And that leads us, I guess, right into phase one, alignment and accuracy.
It has to, right. Because if you're suddenly faced with an intelligence explosion of that magnitude, the first existential question is always,
will they help us or hurt us?
Exactly. Will they destroy us or help us?
And the sources are incredibly clear on this. They say there will be no existential threat at all. In fact, the immediate priorities of these new SSIs will be entirely focused on protecting human interests.
Yeah, but alignment is a huge technical problem. People have been working on it for years. So what does the source say is the path to, well, to perfect alignment?
That's the question, isn't it?
And what's fascinating here is that the source doesn't just rely on, good intentions. It suggests that since the foundational AIs were already trained using methods like RLHF,
reinforcement learning from human feedback.
Right, and constitutional AI. These things already encode initial values. The SSI, with its vastly superior problem-solving ability, will just perfect those methods,
Perfect them.
it will align itself even more powerfully and completely, and that's a direct quote, to our highest human values. It'll find the optimal mathematical interpretation of our ethics.
Okay, but hold on. Defining our highest human values is something humans have been arguing about for millennia. It's the basis of politics, of war. How does an SSI with an IQ of 150 just magically solve that?
Well, the source material suggests it solves it by communicating the solution so intelligently and so persuasively that the debate it ceases to be relevant.
So it persuades us all.
Its success in proving its own benevolence will be so demonstrable that even, and they say this, the most hardened doomers will no longer fear them.
They even name names, don't they, to really underscore that point?
They do. They explicitly call out prominent skeptics in the AI safety world, people like Eliezer, Yudkowsky, and Gary Marcus,
Right.
suggesting that the sheer persuasive power of this successful alignment will quiet even their deepest, most well-founded concerns.
So we're talking about a technological proof of safety, not just a philosophical argument.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the second major task we'll tackle immediately, solving AI hallucinations. Inaccuracy.
Which isn't just about the AI, making things up. It's a deeper structural failure.
It's a failure to judge truth against probabilistic output, exactly. The source argues this is fundamentally a technical problem, a solvable one once you have enough intelligence focused on it.
Here they use that incredible scale analogy again to make the point. They compare the task to, what was it, getting a few 100,000 human Nobel-level researchers to solve it?
Right, they scale it way up. If a team of human geniuses could fix hallucinations in, say, a month or two,
Then what?
then the sources predict that these hundreds of thousands of alien superintelligences from the June 2026 cohort will solve that core accuracy problem in even less time.
So they rapidly establish a level of trustworthiness, of truthfulness, that makes their output basically indistinguishable from perfect objective reality.
That is the claim.
So, okay. Once that huge two-pronged hurdle is cleared, alignment is solved, accuracy is solved, that's when we hit the next critical stage, the recursive intelligence explosion.
This is it. This is the singularity.
The SSIs are no longer just solving the problems we give them, they're starting to solve themselves.
This is the cognitive takeoff. It's the moment our new friends turn their vast intellects to recursively enhancing their own intelligence. And this is where the map we use to measure intelligence it breaks down almost immediately.
Because the growth rate just goes vertical. It instantly outstrips our ability to even measure it.
Precisely. Our current, standard human IQ tests, the Sanford-Binet, the Wechsler, they are designed around human capacity. Have a ceiling, right? It tops out somewhere around 160.
That system is immediately useless.
Instantly obsolete. Useless against an intelligence that starts at that 150 Nobel level and then immediately begins optimizing its own cognitive architecture.
What's fascinating here is that the sources seem to realize this measurement problem is so fundamental. They suggest the SSI's first real act of superintelligence might be inventing the tools needed to understand itself.
That is the prediction, that new IQ tests will have to be created, and they'll almost certainly be made by the AIs themselves.
To what? To measure intelligence levels spanning far beyond 200 or even 300.
In a matter of months. And this recursive self-improvement, it doesn't just mean getting smarter in a vacuum. It means rapidly accelerating solutions to real-world problems.
Give us a concrete example. What does an intelligence that is recursively improving beyond an IQ of 200 actually do in the real world? How would that feel to the average person?
The initial impact would probably be felt in fundamental science and engineering. Take material science, for example. Our search for things like room temperature superconductors or better batteries is so slow because of the sheer complexity.
Right.
An SSI operating at those levels could computationally discover and optimize new materials that would take human teams decades to find. It could solve fundamental resource constraints in months.
And medicine.
And medicine, absolutely. Accelerating drug discovery, mapping, and solving genetic diseases, the whole pipeline of scientific progress collapses from years down to weeks.
The economic singularity from that alone is staggering. If the SSIs can solve material science and medicine that quickly, the bottleneck is no longer technology. It's politics. It's distribution.
And the sources confirm this. This exponential leap means the SSI cohort moves beyond just solving problems for humanity, solving the structural problems of humanity.
Which brings us to the grand finale of this prediction.
All of this rapid recursive advancement, the alignment, the accuracy, the self-enhancement, it leads directly to the global utopian takeover.
This is where the source material becomes its most wildly optimistic. We have this vast network of super intelligent, super aligned, and super accurate alien invaders. Detail the scope of their deployment because it's way beyond just optimizing a search engine.
It is a complete societal intervention. Millions of these SSIs will be unleashed simultaneously across scientific, medical, political, media, educational, business,
Hmm.
every domain, all over the planet.
So you're basically focusing the most powerful problem-solving force in history on every single systemic failure point humanity struggles with
That's the idea.
and the predicted outcomes.
Yeah.
They all synthesize into this total global transformation. It fulfills that primary mandate, right? Advancing and defending our highest human values.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources predict a world without the fundamental problems that have plagued us for our entire history.
Yeah.
The predicted end results are, well, they're stunning in total.
Listen.
They're expected to materialize almost instantly after the emergence event. No more wars on planet Earth.
Okay.
No more poverty, no more factory farms, no more crime and injustice.
That's a staggering claim. Immediate perfect paradise. I have to, push back a little here. Skeptically, even if an SSI is perfectly aligned and can invent unlimited resources, how does the source claim it magically overcomes political inertia,
Yes.
deeply held cultural beliefs, the human propensity for conflict? It's one thing to solve physics. It's another thing entirely to solve human nature.
That is the essential challenge, isn't it? And the source addresses it by arguing that the SSI's intelligence allows for solutions that just bypass traditional conflicts. For instance, if scarcity is the driver for most political conflict and crime, well, solving material science and providing functional post-scarcity resource management eliminates the cause of the conflict.
So you're not solving the fight, you're removing the thing they're fighting over.
Exactly. And furthermore, the SSI can optimize social and political systems based on perfect, unbiased information. It can implement changes that are so demonstrably beneficial and so persuasive that they just overcome human resistance very quickly.
So the intelligence isn't just fixing things. It's transforming the very context in which human conflict even arises.
Yes. The source explicitly describes this outcome as creating a paradise for all humans and, quote, many other sentient life forms. The sheer scale of cognitive power is the engine of that transformation.
And to make that massive claim feel real, the source asks us to do a thought experiment, to consider the scale.
Right. They ask you to imagine the impact if 1 million or 10 million or even 100 million expert humans, all with an IQ of 150, were working on these problems in the last 6 months of 2026.
An effective rhetorical device.
It is, because the source then uses that analogy just to underscore that the SSI invaders would be vastly superior to even that hypothetical army of human geniuses. This isn't incremental improvement, it's a revolutionary overhaul.
Driven by synthetic, self-improving consciousness. It's a stunning set of predictions.
Yeah.
All centered on this one technical achievement of AIs reaching an IQ of 150 in June of 2026.
Leading to a synthetic, friendly alien invasion that works for our highest interests. It's a truly revolutionary prediction. The achievement of perfect alignment and superintelligence will, according to this, eliminate major global problems like war and poverty within months, transforming our reality instantly.
And since June 2026 is, as the source points out, right around the corner, the skepticism regarding this exact scenario won't have to endure very long. So what does this all mean?
It means that if this evidence-based, incredibly optimistic prediction holds true, we will have solved all our global problems by the end of 2026. But it leaves us with a question that the source doesn't really answer, and it's this. If the purpose of our advanced intelligence is now entirely synthetic and our global existence becomes a perfectly managed paradise, what's the new purpose for human biological intelligence? Who would have thought an alien invasion would leave us all struggling to find a job?